So when you take your wheel off, you'll see two here, one here, one here. Undo them with just a normal Allen wrench. It's not hard, it's quite easy. Trouble is, they're quite stiff because they're stuck in rubber, and rightly so. So persevere with them, they do come out. I'll show you one. This is the top one. It's not a lot of thread, it goes in there. That's the arse end of it that you'll be sticking your 5mm, 6mm in. And this should all be lovely and lubed and clean, and as you can see, it's not. So I'm just taking the next one out, trying to get it out anyway. Yes, it's coming out. There's the bottom one. They do get dirty. So that's the two pins on this. Next is this clip. Very, very easy. Don't try it with your fingers because you'll hurt your little fingers. One. Aha! Shall I take the handbrake off? There's one. Now, you see how this clip come out of this hole here? Always, and trust me on this one, always put copper slip in this hole. If this pin busts inside that hole, new caliper time, or this. So get the pins out, put copper slip in there. Be very careful with these pins, because you really don't want to bust these. Now, I need a big hammer. No, I don't. Screwdriver time. And these just pry away. And there's your discs, your pads, sorry. As you can see, I've got shitloads of meat left on them. Happy with that. Again, put them somewhere safe. Don't get that there covered in oil. No, 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 keep them clean. Put it somewhere safe. Now, in here is the piston. This is the thing that does all the work. Now on Vauxhall VECTRAs of this vintage, you can see it's got two holes here and here. You need a special tool to spin that back in again. Yeah, I know it's a ball ache. And we're going to do that now. Now before I do, I'm going to go underneath the bonnet and take the cap off the brake fluid container. Right. So now the front has been taken off. Like I said, you do need a tool for it, and I can never remember which one it is. Got that one. There you go, that's the one. Now I'm just going to put a little bit of grease in and around this piston. Because I want it to slide when this piston starts turning. I don't want it to pinch the I'll clean it off, it doesn't really matter, but I just don't want it to pinch and tear the rubber boot. So just a little precaution. Right. So I've got the tool. You can do this if you just make one of them and that, but to be honest, buy the whole bloody tool, it's easier, and then just twist in. You see how it's trying to twist the rubber boot on it, but because I've greased it all there, it's just twisting it nicely. And there we are. That's one piston in, and it's a happy piston and a happy rubber. Here and here, up here and here, they get degraded in rust. You can use just a simple screwdriver just to get the rust off, all the crud. and up here as well. There you go, that's happy there. Yep, that's happy there. Put a little bit of copper slip on that. Doesn't hurt. Don't worry about the disc, you clean the disc later. Too much. Go. Bottom bit done, the top bit. And all this is to stop corrosion. That's all I'm doing with that. And the disc, to clean it off, very simple. Wipe the bugger off. I'll be brake cleaning these discs before the wheel goes on. But there you go, that's the grease off that side. Don't forget about the grease on the other side. That's that. Lovely jubbly. Now, see if you can see it. Next we have the pins. These need cleaning up. Oh, I don't know. Don't go bloody crazy like a bit of 20 grit or something like that. Try not to use a knife. Just use like a brass brush or a bit of 1200 or 1500 sandpaper. Me, I'll take them into the wife and she cleans them with a green scourer and they come up like new. So I'm just about to do that now. So I rubbed them down with a bit of 1500 grit and that's what they come up like. Lovely jubbly. So we have our pads. That's how they go in the car. This is the back wheel, by the way, back passenger side. Pads go in just like that. This goes on top of it. Just like that. Notice how much movement I've got because I've pushed the piston back. Lovely jubbly. Now, this red pin, which goes up here, that way in there, Got a bit of red rubber grease. Don't need a lot. And be careful, because this stuff is really mucky and yucky. So that's all you need. You don't need a lot. I'll put it in the bottom one so you can see that first, because I've got the camera there. So, happy with that location. Pin goes in. Now be prepared for a fight, because the pin thread goes into this, the carrier, sorry, and you can never find a location. It takes you forever. So be prepared for a fight. Right, I do believe I've managed to catch the thread on that. Yes, I have. So, as long as I've got some threads on it, I'm going to do the other pin at the top now. Because there is 2 pins. Again, you don't need a lot. You right, love?
I was just going to see what I closed the door for.
Because everything in the garage is blowing away.
Oh, right, do you want a cup of tea?
Yes, please. So you push it in as far as it will go and fight like buggery getting the thread in. Wiggle it, and with any luck you caught a thread just like I have. Get in there, boy. Sorted. Now so your 2 pins are in, your brake pads are in, your copper greased where the pads sit to the carrier, so that won't rust and they'll slide nicely. You've taken all the copper grease off this disc, don't leave it on. This floats, as you can see, floats nicely. That's what the pins do. You need to do the pins up. Don't monkey on them. You don't need to monkey on them. I'll do the top one. Right, that's hand tight, so I've used my hand. As you can see, it's not very long. Hand tight and a tap. That's all you need. So this one as well. get it in. Hand tight and a tap. That's it, that's all I do. You remember I started talking about this clip, spring, whatever you want to call it. If these ends, this end here, these two ends here, they get really badly corroded and they break off inside there. And then you have to get a new one of these. That is a ball ache you don't want to do. So, very, very easy. Bit of copper slip, copper grease, whatever you want to call it. And try and get as much in there as you humanly can. Here we are. Wipe off the excess. I'd like it in there flooded with copper grease. And belts and braces time, I'm afraid. Just copper grease this. Just the ends. Don't need to go crazy. Because you really don't want this pin snapping inside there. Whole world of hurt. There we are, that's that greased. You put that there. I hope you can see it. And the pin goes in. There you go. That's lovely, that. That's exactly how you want it, that. Here on the top. And that's in. All done and dusted. Right, just want to have a little check of my brake, handbrake. When you're checking your handbrake, lift the boot up, make sure none of it's frayed. Try and give it a grease. Make sure this moves freely. There. Ensure the spring's working fine. And there we have it. La, la, da, da. Now while I'm in here, I just like to stop these rose joints from rusting. It's a little bit of copper slip. And it certainly doesn't hurt. It's just a bit of grease. Any grease you could use on this rose joint. You have to use high temperature grease on all the previous greasings that I've done. bit for the spring. Don't want that rusting and snapping. And that's it. Pop pickers. And that is how I just quickly go over the brakes before an MOT. Like I said, this is the rear passenger brake. It's the handbrake cable as well. I just literally go over this like this before every MOT. Just to make sure they're in good fine working order.